Welcome back to another Airsoft gun review. Today we will be reviewing the AGM Sten Mark II AEG. Now, this may be a little bit more different than my typical Airsoft guns I get, since I do collect more of the Vietnam War era type weapons. But actually, the Sten, not the Mark II, but the Sten variant was used by the Mac V SOG during the war. It was actually a suppressed version, and I'll put the actual model and photo probably right here in the top left corner with it. So future me, get on that. So without further ado, let's get into the actual gun now. All right, so right off the bat, we have the instruction manual, which has all of your necessities, including your battery placement, which I'll actually talk about later, your hop-up adjustment, magazine, how to load it, different things like that, including your different components of the actual gun itself, and a magazine release and everything else. And it's always good to have. Now, the actual gun itself, as you can see, is the Sten, obviously. But what you possibly might notice is that there's no magazine. And the reason is because all my magazines are in this pouches right here, already loaded and ready to rock and roll for this video. So let's get this gun out of the box so y'all can see it. And as you see, full metal construction, pretty sturdy, honestly. And it has a nice, I would say, storage type function. It just allows it easier to be stored in your box instead of having to store it like this upside down. And since it is a side-loaded magazine, it's a little bit harder to store, but you know, with that little feature right there, it is much easier to do. Like I said before, it is a full metal construction, so this thing is not gonna get broken quite easily. But since we're already here, you can see this top right hole, this little bitty tiny one. That is your hop-up adjustment, which you saw in the instruction manual I showed earlier. That is how you take your hop-up instruction. It's basically just an Allen wrench, a very small Allen key or wrench, wherever you are. Depends on how you say it, but a Allen key to adjust that hop up left to right with it, and trajectory your BBs. Now, like I said before, let's flip that side component back up, and just for context, let's just throw one of the... Wow! Anyway, so sorry about that, guys. I accidentally hit the spring, which launched all those BBs everywhere. But you know what? Might as well. It's kind of a good thing I showed y'all that, just so you don't do the same thing when you're pulling your magazines out. I have done that once or twice, unfortunately. So anyway, like I said before, it is a side-loaded magazine, which means you put it in the side magazine well here. You gotta slam it in there, make sure it's nice and tight, and like so, you are locked and loaded with it. Just gonna give y'all a nice view of that. All right. Now to release the magazine, all you have to do is just hit this little button right here. It's going to be popping out right here. You're going to push that down and then release the magazine. And 1 or 2, maybe 3 BBs will come out, just because it's already loaded some BBs into the actual port right there. All right, so to power this beautiful old replica SMG, you're going to need one of 2 options. The 2 options are on ebike.com, but I went with the Titan 1200 mAh 7.4 volt lithium polymer battery. This battery is going to give you a whole lot more power, and it's going to last you a whole lot longer than your typical ones. Now, like I said before, the battery compartment on this is a little bit different than you normally have to do. So what you have to do is you have to get your screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, and there's a bolt right here, right there, that you're going to have to unscrew to get to your gun. So let's just do that real quick, and you can see me struggle because I don't wear gloves that often. Let's just fast forward this, future me. Alrighty, so with that, you undo that, pull it down. It's don't sit in that little slot right here, this component. And there you are. Now the instructions do say that you take off this section, this piece right here, and then you put the battery, let's see if I can give you a better angle. You would put the battery right here in this slot right here, as you can kind of slightly see, but you would undo this and put it there. That is hard because you have to find a very tiny battery, and the battery's not going to last you as long as the normal type batteries, stick type batteries would. So I decided to go and just put it in the tube stock. So I had to get a very slim stick type battery to put in there. And as you can see, it does fit. Not very much wiggle, so it's not going to make any crazy amount of noise with it. And all you do, just slide. I'm struggling, folks. It's been a long day. All right, there we go. You just slide it in there, and then I like to shove it all in there. Future me, we can fast forward this part too. And there we go. Thank the Lord for fast forwarding. Anyway, so as you can see, I put the battery in and connected it and screwed it back in. I'm just gonna do a little dry fire so y'all can see that it is plugged in, like so. Hey, there's a BB in the barrel. Huh. All right, so now let's get into some actual test firing of this SMG. Now, each magazine is only 55 rounds, so please be aware of that. And get yourself 3 stick magazines, at least 3 stick magazines. And let's just do some hips so you can kind of see the BB trajectory. There's that. And last but not least, the final magazine. And that is all 3 of the magazines. Now, let's go check out our target that was downrange. Okay, so as you can see, from about 30 to 35 yards, it is pretty accurate. I mean, this is a pretty decent spread. I mean, don't mind the ones that are out here. That's when I did that hip fire with it. But, you know, at just about your typical SMG range, I would say that's not a bad spread. Like I said, just picture that human silhouette, and I think you're gonna be good. All right, now let's go to a further distance. So I put a new target up and set it back about 60, 70 yards. My position right here. So let's just see how it goes with it all the way down there. And let's go. All right, so as y'all can see, well, maybe you can't see, it's a little bright out, but you know, from about 60, 70 yards away, it's gonna be a little bit harder, is it? It is an SMG, so it's not gonna go as far as your rifle or anything like that. But you know, I'm not far away. I'm not too mad about this. The first few rounds did go high. I had to adjust my aim a little bit, but you know, other than that, I'm not too mad about that, honestly. All right, and that is the end of this Sten review. Overall, I'd say it's a 9 out of 10. I would say it's a 10 out of 10, but you do get this little slight wiggle right there. I don't know if you can see it, but right there. Probably just have to tighten this screw slightly, and then if that fails, I could probably put some tape around here to add a bit more girth and then put it on. And that should probably fix the whittling. But I mean, other than that, I love this gun. I love this Sten. I mean, there's nothing much to say. It is an SMG, so your range is going to be a little bit decreased than your average rifle range. But I mean, let's face it, if you're an SMG, you're not trying to snipe 20 miles or anything like that. So, like I said, it is the end of the review. I did want to make this video sooner, but had some shipping issues, so I had to very patiently wait for this gun. So if you have any questions or any concerns, please don't hesitate to put them in the comments. If you did find this video helpful, leave a thumbs up. And you know what? If you want to help support me to create even more content like this, put a subscribe. You know, just click that red button, subscribe button. It's gonna help me a whole lot, and I can do a lot of videos. I have a lot of good planned videos that come out in this new year of 2026. So please help me accomplish those videos. All right, guys, thank y'all so much for watching, and have a great day.